Okay, this is my story. Basically, the time I would think you would inject this is when you get to this point in your diagram. You say, in other words, choosing to manage your equipment based solely on line item price, you run the risk of your company and organization falling into the abyss. At this point, I would say, that reminds me of a story when I was younger and growing up. I can remember on Sunday mornings, after church, we would go and we'd get the local Sunday paper. We'd go home, and my mother and father would sit at the kitchen table, and they would make their shopping list for the week. It would look something like maybe bread, some sort of meat, a course of cereal, some milk, and so on. And once they did that, they would go through the paper and they would clip out coupons, and they would organize them by price, by store, and by location. After they did that, we would then all pile into the car and we would leave the house. And from there, we would then drive to the bakery and we would get our bread and baked goods. Then we would go to the dairy and we would get the milk and such there. From there, we might go to the butcher and get any meat products that we needed, and so on and so forth. So we would drive literally from home to store, to store, to store, to store, and then back home. Routinely, this would take us all day. We'd get back home and gosh, the day would be shot. One day I finally, as I got older, I asked Mom, I said, why do we do that? And she said, well, the reason I do that is we look for the lowest price, and that's where we go to get that item that particular week. So they're looking for sales and the best coupons. And it dawned on me, I said, but Mom, you're not taking into account the amount of time that you're spending getting the coupons, cutting them, organizing them, jumping everybody into the car, all the time you spend driving around, gas, fuel, wear and tear on the car, not to mention the time you could be spending doing something else, going to a picnic or something like that. I said, Mom, why don't you instead use this newfangled thing they have here called the supermarket? They have everything you need, their prices are reasonable, their service is superior, and then we could be there and back, and we'd still have pretty much all the day to do things as we choose. Well, Mr. Customer, it's kind of the same way. Instead of focusing solely on price, you're actually wasting time potentially, where you could actually use what RSC brings to the table. We want to be that supermarket for you. Just like the supermarket offers my mom, we offer you good, solid inventory, certainly superior service, and most importantly, we free up your employees' time to really participate in more profit-producing activities, which certainly is going to transfer to your bottom dollar. That is what RSC's consumption management brings to the table. What do you think?